You are right on time for Hope TV Newswatch on the 16th day of June 2023. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Gloria Musimbi and on the sign language interpretation tonight is Elizabeth Wanjiku. You can interact with us on our Twitter handle at HopeTV_KE. The hashtag is HopeTV Newswatch. Making headlines, the Kenya Kwanza government has continued with its efforts to dignify Kenyans through availing affordable and decent houses. Speaking today when he closed the Kenyan Urban Forum in Naivasha, Nakuru County, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua said that the new financial year has offered the government the much-needed opportunity to prioritize projects that are important to the government, especially the Affordable Housing Initiative. Tess Njenga has more.
The Kenya Urban Forum, running under the theme of "The Future is Urban," brought together governors and leaders from other levels of government to strategize on how to position different cities and towns in the country as investment destinations with the aim of reducing the number of the urban poor. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua lauded governors for aiding the government's affordable housing plan in their respective counties and implored upon leaders who have not embraced the plan to do so.
The entire world is saying the future is urban. Let's do slum upgrading. Let's have affordable housing to dignify the people of Kenya, to give them access to clean water, to sanitation, and all the other things that dignify a human being. Then a few characters are making noise everywhere. And the irony again of the whole thing, almost these characters were making noise.
The Deputy President lauded partners who have supported the Kenya Urban Support Program, saying that it has boosted development of urban areas, cities, municipalities, and informal settlements across the nation. The Deputy President also lauded the World Bank for approving money that will support 77 municipalities in 43 counties.
The World Bank has approved approximately 45 billion Kenya shillings to support 77 municipalities in 45 counties and 2 special municipalities for refugees in Kakuma and Dadaab. And the irony of that announcement from Washington is that as a world and international institutions acknowledge the importance of urbanization, slum upgrading, and affordable housing.
The conference adopted key resolutions that will inform the government's framework for sustainable urbanization and is the first of many that will be held in different counties.
The need to harmonize planning legislations, including the Physical and Land Use Planning Act, the Urban Areas and Cities Act, and the County Government Act. Harmonize all those acts. 2, the need to create a national urban development fund, which we are very excited because the president, while opening the forum, was very supportive of that. So I'm sure with your help, we shall be able to carry this ball to the finish line.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Tess Njenga.
Interior CS Kithure Kindiki has urged communities in Lamu County to coexist in peace and harmony and resolve conflicts peacefully. Speaking today during a security baraza at Mkunguni Square, Lamu Central Sub-County, Kindiki has added that any political, religious or community leader inciting violence and destruction of property, pretending to be fighting for resolution of historical grievances, will be apprehended and prosecuted in accordance with the law.
Letu kama serikali ni kuhimiza umoja wa jamii zote na kuhimiza heshima baina ya watu wote na jamii zote na dini zote katika sehemu hii yetu ya Lamu. Ningetaka kuhimiza umoja, uwiano na masikizano na heshima kati ya jamii asili ambayo imekuwa hapa tangu jadi na jamii zingine zetu ambao pia ni wenyeji wa Lamu lakini ambao walifika hapa baadaye. Sisi zote hapa ni kwetu. Lazima tuwe na heshima, tuheshimiane, tusiweke lugha ya madharau, ndio tujenge umoja wetu na tujenge usalama wetu. Kuna mambo ambayo tutaendelea kuwashughulikia kama serikali ili kuleta jamii zote pamoja. Lakini ndio huo umoja tuweze kuujenga, lazima kuwe na heshima. Tuache lugha ya madharau, tuache lugha ya kejeli. Tuwe na heshima. Tuwe na heshima baina yetu.
Kenyans have been urged to ensure that they safeguard the independence of judiciary if the country was to make strides in development. Chief Justice Martha Koome and Siaya Governor James Orengo said the gains made in ensuring a judiciary that serves the Kenyans equally did not come on a silver platter, as many lives and property were lost to fight for the same. According to Koome, the judiciary strives to bring justice closer to the people. There was a need for judicial officers to recognize that the traditional adversarial system of justice, while critical, is not the sole mechanism for resolution of disputes.
This also will enable our entrepreneurs to focus on what they do best by innovating and creating jobs and driving the growth of economy. It is a critical cog in our drive to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive and spur the economic growth in Siaya County. We all recognize even the big businesses started small, and if they had any legal impediments that stopped them from growing, they couldn't grow. So this is why this court is absolutely timely.
We must never look back to a situation where the gains we have made under this constitutional dispensation to be clawed back. I don't want to take for granted ever in my life the importance of an independent judiciary. And I've lived to it to see the difference between an independent judiciary and an executive controlled judiciary. So in your able hands, and those of your colleagues in the judiciary, whether you make decisions that we like or we don't like, the most important thing is we should never lose that battle again, where we have to fight for a free and independent judiciary.
Addressing health matters, the Laikipia County government is seeking partnership with private health facilities in an effort to reduce medical flight in search of specialized treatment overseas. Every year, according to the Ministry of Health 2015 to 2020 data, it reveals that majority of Kenyans travel to India, South Africa, United Kingdom and United States in search of treatment for cancer, renal ailment and other non-communicable diseases attributed to lack of specialized medical equipment and high treatment costs. Laikipia Governor Joshua Irungu, speaking during the official inauguration of Cottage Hospital, Nanyuki Town Branch, said that with public and private partnership would ensure residents access quality health services without traveling abroad to seek services that can be availed to them at an affordable rate.
We are already discussing with the governor for a public-private partnership where we are able to help each other, specifically the Nanyuki Teaching and Referral Hospital and collaboration between Nanyuki Cottage Hospital. The idea is that because we have launched the concept of super speciality here, we have the doctors in-house, the resident doctors who are starting basically teaching programs and internship programs here. So this hospital is also, Nanyuki Cottage Hospital is also one of the first hospital in Africa to bring a very sophisticated equipment, probably the second of its kind in entire world. The first such equipment was launched in India, The second one is being planned in Nanyuki Cottage Hospital, and very soon we will have the most advanced laparoscopy system, and as I said, it will be the second such installation in the whole world.
Litigants at the Embu Law Courts who agreed to have their cases referred to mediators managed to save up to 1.9 billion Kenyan shillings due to the faster resolution of their cases since the program started in 2019. Resident Magistrate Dorcas Indo, who coordinates the court annex mediation program at the courts, she said litigants saved the money they would have spent on litigation costs and time that would otherwise have been wasted attending court.
Court annexed mediation was rolled out in Embu Law Courts in 2019, and all along the years we have been resolving cases. This year alone we have referred over 200 matters, and from the start I can talk about the economic benefits. We are saving up to 1.8 billion in terms of cases referred to court annexed mediation. The procedures that are followed by court, a case may take 1 or 2 years, depending on the complexity of the matter. But here we are referring it to mediation so that we can resolve it within 60 days.
Mediation is one of the ADR process that enables Wanjiko get justice through cost-effective ways, through expedient ways, and we support the mediation. We do not see it as a threat to the business because it is one way. Matters that come to court will remain. Matters that will go to mediation as well will also be there. So there's business for everyone. There's business for mediators. There's business for advocates.
And with that, we come to our first news break. Stay tuned for more news updates.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Because women talk more and they are not very strong physically, when they want to hurt their husbands or their children or anybody, they use the tongue.
Families under God.
How can we continue to live carelessly in ease?
Join Reverend Dr. Judy Mbugua as she imparts families through prayer, evangelism, and social transformation with the Word of God.
You know, God is not asking you to manage. He's asking you to be available. Amen. And He will make you able and capable.
Families under God, only on Hope TV.
Welcome back. And on county news, Narok Water and Sewagery Company has launched a crackdown exercise aimed at curbing the non-revenue water that undermines the services at the company. The crackdown that began in the Lower Majengo estate of Narok town saw 8 illegal consumers arrested for illegally connecting water to their premises and evading paying water bills.
Narok County tumekuwa na wizi wa maji. Kuna watu ambao wako na illegal connections. Kuna watu wengi ambao hawalipi. Kwa hivyo leo askari ambao tuliletewa specifically kusaidia idara ya maji kuhakikisha kwamba illegal connection imeisha, na pia wale ambao hawalipi bill Leo tumekuwa na crackdown ambayo ilianza asubuhi. We managed to arrest 8 people na wote watapelekwa kotini.
Sisi pande yetu tumefanya kazi, tumeongeza zile mashini nyingi ambaye ilikuwa inatoa maji kwa mto, na saa hizi tunasema ya kwamba 80% ya Narok town wanapata maji. Tuna watu wa kulipa hizo pesa ya mshahara. Tuko na pipe ambayo inaweza haribika, tunataka kuitengeneza. Tuko na sehemu ambaye haija connectiwa na tunataka kuwa connectia, na tuko na mambo mingi sana ya kufanyia hiyo pesa. Kwa hivyo tafadhali wacha kuiba maneno ya maji, lipa ile ambayo inayofaa.
As Narok County and as a water company, we are really very grateful to the CS and the ministry for giving us this unit. As a company, we are losing a lot of water. Non-revenue water is around 40%, and the allowable level is around 18%. So we want to work hard together with the police unit to make sure we bring down the amount of non-revenue water to below 20.
The focus of the Global Report on Food Crisis has released its 5th edition report for this 2023. The report reveals that member states of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, continue to struggle with a severe food crisis since 2022. This year, over 55 million people are experiencing acute hunger and need immediate food, nutrition, and livelihood assistance. These numbers are an increase of over 13 million from 2021. Our very own Joy Mochache has more.
The 5th edition of the GRFC report, which details the worrisome rise in severe food insecurity in the area over time, was formally released today by IGAD in Nairobi. IGAD reported a significant increase in drought over the previous 5 years. In 2002, the number of people in the region who suffered food insecurity reached an alarming 55.45 million across 7 of the 8 IGAD member states, that is Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, and Uganda. Eritrea's data was not available.
We have 158 million acute food insecure. This is a huge number. Again, it's bigger than, it's more than half of the number in Africa, which means that Eastern Africa has particular problems that it needs to solve. The conflicts do not help. The climate variability does not help. One issue that is clear is that the droughts have become more often than they used to be. The floods also have become more often and more intense than they used to be.
The director of ICPAC, Gulliad Artan, explained some of the factors that exacerbate the drought situation in the IGAD member states. Artan cited an unprecedented 3-year drought in the Horn of Africa, record-breaking flooding in South Sudan, protracted conflicts, macroeconomic challenges brought on by the ongoing effects of COVID-19 and made worse by the conflict in Ukraine.
The confluence of several things. One, we had a really crippling drought that was ongoing for 5 seasons. One of the worst droughts that this region has seen. Second effect is due to the conflicts and regional and global. For example, the Ukraine conflict has severely affected the macroeconomic conditions of the region. The third was that the effects of the COVID-19 restrictions, the effects that it had on the economy. So the food insecurity has dramatically increased.
The GRFC's research further shows that even with upcoming rains, humanitarian food assistance will be needed by up to 30 million people in Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, and Uganda, for which rain forecasts are known. Of these, an estimated 7.5 million people are anticipated to experience significant food consumption gaps and adopt emergency coping mechanisms in Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, and Sudan. More than 83,000 people are anticipated to experience extreme food insecurity in the region's worst drought and conflict-affected areas, particularly in Somalia and South Sudan.
This year, we have around 55 million citizens of this region who are food insecure. What that means is that there is a scale called the IPC index. That means IPC index 3 or above. This is an increase of over quarter 25% if you compare to 2021. 2021 was 42 million. The increase is due to the confluence of several things.
As stated in the IGAD declaration on the progress of tackling food crises in the region, the urgency and severity of the issues that the Eastern African region faces demand for prompt and concerted action to lessen the suffering of millions afflicted by acute food insecurity. Joy Mochache, reporting for Hope TV.
Kenya Reassurance Corporation, Kenya Re, has declared a 560 million shilling dividend payout, up 100% from 280 million paid out last year. Each shareholder will earn 20 cents dividend per share, held up from 10 cents dividend per share paid out a year earlier. This comes after the firm reported a profit after tax of 3.62 billion shillings for the year ended 31st December 2022, representing a 15% growth compared to 2021 full-year results of 3.16 billion shillings. According to the Managing Director, Dr. Hilary Maina Washinga, Kenya Re's 5-year business strategy has continued to reap dividends with non-funded income expanding and reinforced by strong growth from fire and engineering classes of business.
As the world seemed to stabilize from the pandemic, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine escalated, resulting in rapid inflation, especially in food and fuel prices. In sub-Saharan Africa, we continue to see an inflated debt standing at 59.5% of the GDP. These factors, among others, have resulted in decreased real incomes and an increased cost of living globally. The strategic plan 2022 to 2026 was developed through a consultative process involving the board of directors, management, staff, and other stakeholders, and conducted in strict compliance with the aspirations of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. In 2022, we achieved gross written premium of 24.98 billion Kenya shillings, which is a 23% rise from 2021. Our investment income also rose by 2.3%, and total income by 15.1%. The growth in investment income was spurred by interest from fixed income investments and dividends.
And on local sports news, at least 250 golfers will gather at the Vet Lab Sports Club this Saturday for the 6th leg of the 2023 NCBA Golf Series. The event, coinciding with the club's centenary milestone celebrations, promises an exciting showcase of talent as top golfers compete for the coveted slots in the grand finale scheduled to take place later this year. The winners of the overall gross men's category and women's category will earn their place to compete in the highly anticipated grand finale. More than 50 boxers will over the weekend converge in Siaya town for the inter-county boxing tournament. Addressing the press at his club's training venue at Oseno Komolo Primary School, Siaya Boxing Club head coach Joseph Ochieng Otieno, Elias D4, said that their tournament will also be used to prepare boxers for the Olympics trials come selection that is slated for Nairobi next year. Among the counties that have already confirmed participation are Homa Bay, Migori, Kisumu, Kakamega, Vihiga, Busia and Hos Siaya.
Hii mchezo ya intercounties itakuwa sasa ni kuweka vijana wetu tayari ili waende katika selection ya trials ya Olympic ya next year ambayo itakuwa Nairobi. Intercounties tunatarajia wachezaji kutoka county ya Homa Bay already wasa confirm wako na boxers 13. Kisumu wasa confirm wako na boxers 9. Alafu Vihiga wako na boxers wa 6. Sisi Siaya tuko na boxers wa 7. Busia wako na boxers wa 6. Kakamega pia wako na boxers wa 6. Kwa sasa hatuna wafadhili yoyote. Tutaweza shukuru sana tukiwa tukisaidiwa na counties zetu huku nyuma.
Tuko ready, tuko sure hii game round tutaiwin. Kawaida Siaya hapa zoezi tunapiga fiti kabisa.
On international sports news, Joselu scored a late winner as Spain beat Italy 2-1